It's looked like Qualcomm gave life to a new niche of handsets after releasing the Snapdragon 870. We are talking about very affordable flagship killers powered by this chipset, which is actually an upgrade of the Snapdragon 865 Plus released in 2020. It is not the best chipset by Qualcomm, but it is still a flagship SoC with 5G connectivity and delivers amazing performance. The most affordable devices launched with this chipset are Redmi K40 by Xiaomi and the Motorola Edge. Which one is the best? And which has the highest value for money? This comparison is here to give you the answer. Before we jump into the video, if you do not subscribe to our channel yet, please subscribe and hit the notification bell icon. At first, we will talk about the design. Despite they are actually affordable flagships, both Redmi K40 and Motorola Edge come with an attractive design. The camera module is not invasive, the screen-to-body ratio is high and the display has a punch-hole design. According to Motorola, the Edge is splash resistant, while Redmi K40 does not provide any protection against water, at least officially. On the other hand, the Redmi K40 is thinner and lighter, thanks to its small battery and small display. If you want a device that fits better in a pocket and is easier to use with one hand, the Redmi K40 is actually a better choice. But the protection against water offered by the Motorola Edge is an important added value. Now come into the display section. If you consider the displays, the Redmi K40 wins, and you should choose it without thinking twice if you are looking for the best image quality. The Redmi K40 has a Super AMOLED display with a 120Hz of refresh rate and a HDR10 Plus certification, as well as very high 1300 nits peak brightness. It is almost a flagship display if you consider the color reproduction, the refresh rate and the brightness. The Motorola Edge has a mid-range class IPS display with a 90Hz of refresh rate and a HDR10 certification, as well as a lower 560 nits typical brightness. Despite the Redmi K40 has an AMOLED display, both the phones features a side-mounted fingerprint scanner. Now coming to the specs and software section. As mentioned in the intro, Redmi K40 and Motorola Edge are fueled by the Snapdragon 870 mobile platform by Qualcomm. The SoC is paired with up to 8GB of RAM and 256GB of first UFS 3.1 native storage. In terms of the hardware department, it is essentially a draw. When it comes to the software, you get a user interface close to stock Android with the Motorola Edge and a highly customized MIUI with the Redmi K40. Both the phones run Android 11 out of the box. Note that Motorola Edge has expandable storage thanks to a microSD card slot, while Redmi K40 does not. Now coming to the camera section, the Motorola Edge has superior rear camera to the Redmi K40. It is composed of a 64MP main sensor with a f1.7 focal aperture, a 16MP ultra-wide sensor with a 121 degrees FOV, and a 2MP depth sensor and an additional ToF 3D sensor. Even the front camera department is better. It consists of a 16MP main sensor and a secondary 8MP ultra-wide lens. Now coming the battery section. The Motorola Edge packs a bigger battery with a 5000 mAh capacity, while you get just 4520 mAh with the Redmi K40. The Redmi K40 has smaller dimensions thanks to its smaller battery, but the Motorola Edge provides a longer battery life. On the other hand, the Redmi K40 charges faster with its 33W fast charging technology, while Motorola Edge stops at 20W. Now coming to the last section, the price of this phone. The starting price of the Motorola Edge is €250 or $302, while Redmi K40 starts from €280 or $338. Those €30 do not make the difference. What does are the cameras and the displays. If you want a better display quality, then go for the Redmi K40. But if you need a better camera phone, then Motorola Edge is actually better. I would actually choose the K40 because despite the Edge has a better camera department, it remains a mid-range camera phone. Thanks for watching. If you liked our video, please subscribe and hit like.